In this video, we're going to be using Holy Call 1776 and the OneBlade Genesis version 1. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And as mentioned before, today we're going to be using Holy Call. This is 1776. Beautiful label on this. And this was kindly sent to me by my good friend Marion the Barbarian. I was giving him a rough time about listing Holy Call and his choices because I really don't see him using it that much. And I said, you know, I don't care for a lot of their scents, and he just sent this to me because he really likes it. And it does have a nice scent. Is it a ringer scent or a top level scent for me? No, but it really is nice. We'll show you the notes right there. They describe it as fresh and green. To me, it comes on almost floral, but it is a nice scent, and I do like it, and I will keep it and honor, you know, Marion, of course. It really is a good quality. So the problem for me and the Sierra base, which is an excellent quality base, but for my use case, it's not a great value. It's $29.99 for 4 ounces, or $7.49 an ounce on our cost chart, which is in the painful realm. And for me, I just don't need to spend that much per ounce for a soap because I use soaps that are much less expensive and I get the same result for my use case. I want to emphasize that use case is critically important. If you need all sorts of skin food and stuff, maybe this is a good value. But for me, this is never a great value, at least the Sierra base. But it is an excellent quality soap. So I never want to shortchange the quality. Nicely packaged, great tub. I'll show you the ingredients right there. Got a lot of milks in there, donkey milk, buffalo milk. The quality, I think you can't question that. The razor for today is the OneBlade, again, inspired by Marion. And this is the OneBlade Genesis V1. And I have a gem style blade in there with the spine removed. And let's just get into it today. We do have a nice lather whipped up. We have almost 24 hours of growth there. You see a little bit of that pepper. And this is just plain water if you're curious. And I remind you, the links for the products I'm using will be below if you are interested. And we're just going to wet the face. All I'm doing there is wetting the face. There's no special elixir in here. We have our APShaveco Disco Haze brush. And we do have a really nice lather here with the Holy Call. It is really good quality. I would call it, though, however, a low structure, which means it doesn't really burst into volume, so you've got to work it. But if you do work it, you'll get a really nice, hydrated, well-hydrated lather if you work the water into it. But again, because for me, relative to other soaps that I use a lot, this is low structure, the value goes down even more because I had to use a little more product of this than I normally use to get, you know, a little under the same volume. And if you want to know how I lather, and again, if you lather this differently, you might have a different result, but I would call this low structure, meaning extremely creamy, but not a lot of volume. And again, I don't want puffy volume, but generally, I use about 1/4 teaspoon of soap, and I had to use about 1/2 teaspoon to generate, really, which isn't really a lot. And for me, that makes the cost per ounce value go up, meaning it's even more pricey since I have to use more product. And again, I'll link in one of the corners there the way I lather using Shannon's, for example, which I get more volume out of and the same quality lather for my use case. So for me, value is the issue here, but you're going to get a terrific quality soap. So if you're not concerned with budget at all, I think Holy Call, and I'm calling it Call because K-A-W is Call. Like ow, like if you say ouch, that's O-W, or cow is O-W. So I think cow would be K-O-W or C-O-W, and C-O-W was probably taken, but call is call, you know, like K-A-W. As it is. So anyway, no offense there. Of course, I'm just being flip, but let's get going with the OneBlade with the gem, which I think is a very nice razor. I'm glad to have this back, and I was foolish to let it go the first time and make that stupid video. But you know, you learn sometimes as you go, and even when you're experienced, you can still learn things. I learn things all the time. One of the things I learned was this is a nice scent for Marion. It's a lesson Marion taught me. But I'll be honest, at this price, it has to be a ringer scent. Would I buy this This soap at $7.49 per ounce, no. The scent for me is pleasant and enjoyable, but it's not a ringer. It's not a scent that I would crow about. But it is good and it is pleasant and I do like it. And it is a gift from Marion, so I will treasure it. And Marion, I do appreciate you. Thank you, sir. And the quality of it, I don't think you can make any complaints in that realm. It's they've been making soap for a long time. They make a very good soap. So Marion's Choice, where he said performance, honestly, I was giving him a hard time, but I don't think you can argue with the performance here. I definitely think you can make some value criticisms. It's just, for me, I just need slickness. I don't need 9,000 skin food ingredients in the soap. And so for me, it's overkill. But I do appreciate the fact that they make soaps so if you need, all the extras. Now, I address my post-shave concerns with a post-shave product, but maybe you're someone who doesn't use post-shave products, or maybe you don't want to. Maybe this soap will hit the mark for you, and give you those things you want in your post-shave. So maybe if you figure that into the value, maybe it's a better value for you. Again, I really try to emphasize use case. And I don't buy these soaps a lot because they don't fit well within my use case at their price. Because I do consider the cost of things. Obviously, I spend a lot on this hobby, but I try not to spend frivolously. And for me, spending, $3 extra per ounce on a soap, if it doesn't really address my use case, or if it doesn't give me anything special, where it could give me something very special is a scent. So I have, for example, from Holy Call, Fern Concerto and Pompelmo, and I love those. And they were also, this price, and I'm happy with it because I love those scents. But this one is just a like. And again, I don't have a ton of volume here relative to my other soaps, so that's why I am not, you don't see these a lot here, because I would need samples or something to help me sort of pick out the ringer scents, the absolute winners, scents that they have that are unique. And for me, Fern Concerto and Pompelmo are terrific. I love those. And I'm happy having spent the money for those wonderful scents. But I would have to get samples from somewhere like Mac, because I'm not going to take a lot of flyers on scents of this level. Now, when you get the package from Holy Call, it's going to be packaged very well. He definitely sets that luxury experience. He puts a little piece of candy in there. He writes a note. This would be considered a sort of a luxury artisanal offering, I think. Or at least I would consider it that. And he certainly does a good job at that. But again, it's just one of those things where you don't see it a lot here because it just doesn't fit well for me based on what I want and based on what I want to spend. I would rather have a couple of sterling that, for me, the lather on that is just perfect for my use case. I would rather have 2 sterling than 1 Holy Call. That's just me. Because that would give me 2 different scents to experience. And, we're talking about, 11, 12 ounces of soap there as well. And I get good volume out of that. So, just because you spend a lot doesn't mean you're not budget minded and you don't want to get the most value you can for your money, And this OneBlade Genesis here, for example, the reason I picked it up again was because you can leverage these gem blades if you take off the spine. Now, of course, OneBlade's not going to recommend that you do that. They want you to use their feather blades, and they work well too. And I do have some of those, but I have a lot of gem blades. So why not get a razor that can leverage those if you just pull off the spine? For me, that's, again, it gives me some value here for my OneBlade razor. This is a terrific shaver, by the way. And again, I had it years ago, and then I got rid of it because I thought at the time, and again, your thoughts and feelings may change over time. And you know, you come back and you admit, hey, I have different feelings about it now. But at the time I thought, what does this give me that like the Harry's razor doesn't give me? And in retrospect, I realize now, well, it's got a single blade. It does pivot like the carts. It's great looking. And I got it from the Murphy and McNeil used marketplace for a great price. So I really couldn't pass it up. I was missing it. And it was one of those things where I regretted it once I got rid of it. Okay, so let's see if we have enough herein to make a lather for our last pass. And again, everything depends on the way you do things in your use case. So the way you lather is part of your use case. What your skin needs is part of your use case. How often you shave, like I'm a everyday shaver, that factors in. So please consider that when you're making your value assessments. This might be a tremendous value for you, you know, but I'm always coming from the perspective of what I like to purchase, because when I use things on this channel, I'm using things that by and large, I'm either curious about or think I might like. I'm not just using things for the sake of using them. Like I have interest in a product, generally, if I'm using it. And so I'm going to use things naturally that work well for me or fit within my use case. And we're trying to get that lather just coated on there. And I will say, this is a terrific quality soap. I saw Todd from Take Care Man using this yesterday, and he actually reached out to me and was like, hey, let me send you some of the samples of brighter scents you might like. So thank you, Todd. Because honestly, at this price, you know, like I said, I have to try first. Again, just because you spend a lot doesn't mean you're not concerned with value, you know, because a lot of people go, oh, he's buying stuff all the time. Sure. But it doesn't mean I want to waste money and get things I don't like. You know, who wants to do that? You always want to get good value. Or at least I do, you know. But again, we mentioned, and I can't emphasize this enough, in terms of the quality of lather on this soap, it's terrific. There's no question. And so I can't really fault Marion for making this a performance choice. And as I said before, if you had particular needs as it applies to skin food, you know, maybe this is even a good value for you. Not for me, but it might be for you. And so, you know, please take those things into consideration. When you're using these products, do you find yourself sort of identifying with the person you're watching, or maybe reading written review or seeing a post on Instagram? Do you find you have some intersection of use case there, or are you totally different? It's still valuable nonetheless, but you know, I think a lot of people, especially today, are value minded because of the crunch, you know, that we're all feeling as a result of COVID and the price of groceries and so on going up, and they have gone up dramatically. Gasoline gone up a little bit, and so I think people are certainly considering value, and I certainly do. I can justify a stainless steel piece of hardware, I think, quite easily, because that is a lifetime investment. It's going to last a lifetime. Unless you do something entirely stupid with a stainless steel razor, it'll outlast you easily. But a tub of soap, it's not going to last forever. So, you know, when they approach $30, it's something I have to think about. Unlike buying a piece of stainless steel hardware or something, that's, to me, lifetime investment versus short term. So that's sort of how I figure that in for myself, for my own, again, use case. Very nice shave today. I'll tell you one thing right now. The soap is great quality. It's got a very pleasant scent. I don't get a ton of green from this. It's described as fresh and green. I get a sweet, I would almost call it a perfumey, almost, I don't think there's floral notes in it. It's got, like, I wrote it down, grapefruit, tarragon, patchouli, musk. I think maybe I'm getting tonka and some of the, it's got a sweetness to it. I don't get any grapefruit sort of bite. Like, citrus is there, but it's not forward. It's almost floral, although I don't think there are any floral notes. It's got a sort of floral vibe to it. And that would certainly explain why Marion likes it so much, because he likes a lot of florals that I do not like. He likes some florals that what I call are in the realm of granny floral, meaning very sweet floral, like a honeysuckle, or if you think of a flower that's very bright and sweet, and maybe something that you might associate. Look, when I say granny floral, I certainly don't mean they're exclusively used by your grandma, for example. But I mean, I think back to things I can remember my grandmother wearing on occasion, and they were sort of floral and perfumey, and that's a very pleasant scent to remember her, but I don't want it on me. You know what I mean? That's why I'm when I smell it, it's pleasant, but I don't want to wear it myself. But this one is slightly, to my nose, a little floral. So I wouldn't buy it at its price, but it is enjoyable to use. I hope that makes sense. And it has tremendous residual slickness, as you can see here. I could just, even where there's no lather, it's still incredibly slick. It is a very fine soap. There's just no question about that. All right, let me rinse, and then we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off cam we did a warm water rinse to remove the soap. We applied our alum, no stinging whatsoever, so that was a super smooth shave. Followed that with a cold water rinse, then dried off with our Lancaster towel, and of course applied our Thayer's Magic, because it's made by Witches. Terrific shave today, thanks to Marion. The 1776 by Holy Cow, terrific quality soap. If you need skin food, Sierra is a fantastic base. It is low structure, so be mindful of that, or at least the way I do things. But terrific lather, terrific quality. The value for me, thumbs down on the value. I don't think it's a great value for my use case. However, as I mentioned before, it might be a good value for you. So always keep that in mind. Would I buy this? No. The scent for me is a like, not a love, and it's just too expensive for my needs, but it is a great quality soap. So that is for sure. The OneBlade with our OneBlade razor with the gem style blade, terrific smooth shaver. I'm glad to have it again and using my gem blades in it is very enjoyable. OneBlade Genesis version 1, absolutely phenomenal. We used our APShaveco Disco Haze brush, and of course our Captain's Choice bowl, and you see most of that lather is gone. Like I said, a little low structure compared to other things I use. We shall finish it off today with the splash. And again, thank you, Marion. I appreciate it. I think you're right on Holy Cow. Terrific quality soap, no question about it. And I'm going to use just a little bit of this because it's just slightly floral to my nose. And I realize there are no floral notes in it, but I get a sort of florally vibe, which, again, I like but don't love. But it's a treasured gift. Thank you, Marion. I appreciate you very much. And of course, thank you folks for watching. I really appreciate you. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.